guys, Bluepoint Games shut down. This was a very talented studio, and Sony just shut them down. This was not just any studio. Bluepoint Games was the biggest name in the gaming industry. And Sony just completely shut them down. This is not just another studio. This is a studio that did banger after banger. All their games are bangers. And the worst part about this is they shut them down. This was a studio that won award after award at the Game Awards. And Sony just completely shut them down. They shut down Bluepoint Games. And this is beyond infuriating. Sony really, really messed up. Everybody's pissed about this. There is anger. There is outraged YouTubers that are talking about this. Pretty much everybody in the industry is pissed at Sony, and for good reason. They should be beyond pissed because of this. Sony made the biggest mistake in gaming history. They literally shot themselves in the foot times infinity. And I don't know if Sony can come back from this. Their whole fan base is pissed. Even the most top YouTubers are raged about this. This is the biggest mistake that Sony has ever made in gaming history. Bluepoint Studios deserve so much better. And the reason why Bluepoint Games shut down was because because Sony was forcing them to make a God of War live service. And when they didn't deliver, they completely shut them down. The most well-known studio in the gaming industry just completely shut down. The gaming industry is suffering so much. This shouldn't have happened. This is unforgivable, Sony. You know better than this. Dude, I remember a time when Sony used to care. And this shows that they do not care. They are shoving live services down our throats. And the reason why Bluepoint Games shut down was because of a God of War live service. I mean, can you imagine the pure sanity that this is causing? Bluepoint Games deserve so much more. They don't deserve to be shut down. Their legacy should have lived on. And Sony completely destroyed any hope for the studio. Dude, this was a studio that had dreams. the biggest reputation in gaming history. And they completely shut them down. Everybody's pissed. Every YouTuber is pissed. And Sony deserves all the backlash in the world because of this. There's even people questioning why they even bought a PlayStation 5 because of the lack of games. There is people's PlayStation just collecting dust. And this was a studio that had all the talent in the world. Remake after remake. You could give them any IP and they would make gold out of it. And Sony shut them down. I mean, Sony deserves all the backlash in the world. This should not be happening in the gaming industry. Ever. Sony, you made the biggest mistake in the world. And people are going to remember you for this. They're going to remember that you shut down Bluepoint Games. They're going to remember this day, Sony. You cannot get out of this. This is a backlash that you cannot avoid. And people will remember you for this. Sony, you've made the biggest mistake in gaming history. And there's no excuse for it. You made the worst decision in the world. People are pissed. Gamers are pissed. YouTubers are pissed. And you should never, ever shut down a talented studio like Bluepoint Games.